So, Harry Potter. Harry Potter is a perfect example of the chosen one archetype in film, okay? Harry Potter is literally the chosen one in the Harry Potter universe. Now, Harry Potter is the chosen one, will always be the chosen one. We will always think of Harry as the chosen one. Okay, we'll always think of Harry as being the hero because that's all we're shown through the books. That's all we're shown in the films are these key highlight points of Harry's existence, the most interesting and most entertaining parts of Harry's life in which he is playing the role of the hero as the chosen one, the divine child, right? But we skip out on all of the times when Harry's just being a normal kid, when he's sort of let go of the delusion of being the chosen one. We don't get to see all of that. What Harry's doing over summer break, just being a normal kid. He's not out saving the world all of the time. The world doesn't need to be saved all of the time. Your world isn't being threatened 24/7. You know what I mean? It will go through periods of time where it will be threatened 24/7, and you may have to access the chosen one archetype, that energy, right? But when it's over, it's over. It's like an episode. Think of each Harry Potter film as being one large episode. In between episodes, right, you can still imagine some sort of continuity to the world. Like there was some time between the school years, like how each book sort of starts with Harry going back to school, where there were some things that Harry was doing before he went back to school, but you don't care about that. It sort of is the same way in the Bible. Like we don't really care about Jesus too much until he starts his ministry at 30 years old. They skip out on all of that information. Why? Because he hadn't given in to the archetype yet. The archetype hadn't kicked in. He wasn't the chosen one yet. Like maybe he was, maybe he wasn't, right? But it wasn't activated, so we don't care. He hadn't had the episode yet. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that in real life too. A lot of us, we feel like the chosen one. We feel like that hero archetype. We feel that energy very present in our life, but it's not always necessary to be accessing that energy. Okay, you might be like, why not? Why wouldn't I want to access that chosen one, that divine child energy, that hero archetypical energy that gives me so much power? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't I want to feel that all the time and experience that in my life all the time? And that's what I want to talk to you about a little bit today. So, the first reason why you wouldn't want to be accessing or channeling this chosen one energy all of the time is because it's not practical. You don't need it all of the time. If you continue to channel that in every aspect of your life and every interaction that you have, you will enter into the realm of delusion. Okay, because it's not what reality entails. Usually you don't need to be the hero all the time. There will be key, crucial moments in your life when that energy will be beneficial to you, when you will really need to access that energy in order to sort of pull through whatever it is that you're up against in the moment, right? To overcome some sort of obstacle, to achieve some sort of goal, you will need to access that. But once you do that, you can put that energy away. You don't need to carry that on. You can relax. You can be in the off season of the show. Remember this, archetypes, this is how they work in episodes, okay? It's like something triggers the chosen one response in you. You witness the episode. You have an episode, which means you act out the archetype. You act out the chosen one archetype in the episode. When the episode is finished, it's finished. You don't need to access that energy anymore. You can enjoy yourself. Enjoy this moment of peace. Okay, and let me tell you why you want to enjoy that moment of peace and why you don't want to be accessing this chosen one archetypical energy all of the time. Okay, so let's look at a few different examples of films or stories in which the main character must channel this archetypical energy of the chosen one, the hero, right? So we have like Star Wars. We have Anakin and Luke Skywalker, who were both like the chosen ones. Okay, we have Harry Potter. Harry Potter was the chosen one. You could say that Neo, right? Neo is the chosen one. Now, one thing that these films have in common, Harry Potter, Star Wars, and The Matrix, one thing that these all have in common is that archetype of the chosen one. But what does that mean? You can see that in each of these films there is a clear distinction between good and evil. The forces of good and evil are personified in these films, right? Like we have in Star Wars, we have like the Jedi Order and then the Sith Lords. Like we have the Jedi Order and the dark side, the light side and the dark side of the Force, right? In Harry Potter, we have Harry, who's good, the personification of good, and then Voldemort, the personification of evil. And there is this battle of wills, good versus evil, is taking place here. And then in the Matrix, we have Neo as the chosen one, and the Matrix as a whole is the bad thing, but really it's Agent Smith is the personification of evil in the Matrix. So there is this clear distinction, and this is one of the check boxes to activate this energy of the chosen one, of this divine child archetype sort of thing, is there must be a clear distinction in your life between good and evil. You must be fighting a battle at some level. Someone is out to get you. Someone is challenging you. There is some adversity in your life, okay? And this is why you don't want to be channeling this energy, because that's not healthy all the time, because it will turn your wife or your husband into an enemy, into a potential spy for the enemy or something like this. This is what happens when people experience the sensation of gang stalking, when you feel like you're being gang stalked. And I'm not trying to say that nobody is gang stalked or something like this. You know what I'm saying? Perhaps that is a part of people's reality. But when you're channeling that chosen one archetype, you may be experiencing these things in undue process. Like it's not necessary. You don't need to be channeling the forces of good and evil into your life in order to overcome every small little obstacle that you have in your life, okay? Now, another key thing about these films, right? Like in Harry Potter, sort of Harry's the chosen one, but who chose Harry? Who really chose Harry? Voldemort chose Harry. In the Matrix, who chose Neo, right? Morpheus chose Neo. And in Star Wars, who chose Luke, right? Anakin chose Luke. That's his son. They're tied together through this link, you know? So they're chosen by the adversity. There is always this, because if you're a chosen one, keep this in mind, there must be a chooser of chosen ones. So anytime you're channeling the energy of the chosen one archetype, you must, by necessity, also be channeling the archetypical energy of the chooser of the chosen ones, or the liberator, a Lucifer figure in your life. You must have that present. This is the liberator, the light bringer, the one who brings knowledge, but it's oftentimes in riddles, and it keeps you guessing. And this is what happens when you become paranoid. It's because you're channeling this liberator, this Luciferian archetypical energy of the rogue, the trickster, the liberator, like Morpheus, right? Like Voldemort. They love to speak in riddles. You know how the bad guys do, the villains. They're always speaking in riddles and things like this. So these are a few reasons why you don't necessarily want to be channeling the chosen one archetypical energy all of the time in your life. You must pick and choose your battles and understand that these archetypical energies showcase themselves episodically. They do it in episodes, and that's exactly how it works. So you don't need to be the chosen one all the time. There will be an episode where you act out that archetype, and then you may be required to act out a different archetype when you come back down to earth and go back home to your family. You may have to click back into that fatherly, caring archetype or whatever it is for you. But you know, you will have these mundane instances in your life too, you know. And I think it's important to learn to enjoy those moments of peace when we're not experiencing an episode of archetypical energy, right? I kind of like that language. But anyway, man, until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.